What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I'm Wayno. How y'all feeling? If you like what it is that we do over here, hit that sub button, though. Hit them likes and run up that hype. Y'all have been helping this channel grow tremendously, and I want to say thank you. With that being said, let's get to it. Kev McCall. We talking about Kev McCall today. Kev McCall is a singer slash songwriter, you know what I mean, rapper. He worked with Chris Brown back in the days, most famously known for Deuces. Was in a relationship with Eva Marcel, model, turned to radio personality and a bunch of other stuff. But Kev McCall has been going through a lot of things in the public eye for a long time, though. This is not nothing new, but he just was on Back on Fig. And while he was on Back on Fig, he was expressing a couple of things that he was going through, and I want to talk about it. Here's the first clip, though.
I get paid for Look at Me Now. I wrote on that. I wrote a whole verse, then Busta Rhymes cut the verse off, but I still did this part. What was we talking about? I need that bread. All this shit could have been shit I could have paid for my lawyers and shit. So I just lost both of my daughters is in Atlanta right now. I don't know what the fuck is in Atlanta. I lost rights to my daughter, my oldest.
So you lost all custody.
Like my child support is $2,000, right? Deuces ain't been popping since 2012. Why is my child support $2,000? So I had all this back pay. Then I sold my catalog for $500,000. I only got $250,000 out of it. I bought my mama a house for $50,000, and then I had to pay all this child support shit off. Why was my child support $2,000? I'm not Future or none of these. Like, watch this.
We gonna have to talk about, this situation with him involving his kids. Before we get there, he said it's not like I'm Future. His child support is $2,000. Future would be extremely happy for his child support to only be $2,000 a month. Let's just start there, right? I think Kev is misinformed on a few things, but then he says that, he wrote on Look at Me Now. He didn't get paid for that. Deuces ain't been popping. He sold his catalog. He got $250,000 out of $500,000. He had back child support, right? But then he bought his mom's a house. He bought his mom's a house for $50,000. Now, here's where financial literacy comes into play. If you got that $250,000 at this point right now, currently, that's probably the only $250,000 you made in your life or even off of your rap career, and you've been doing this shit for a long time. So it's a great gesture to buy your mom's a house. That's a great thing, and it's a great feeling to move your mom's out the hood. I don't know what he did with his mom's where he put her, but that's a great gesture to do. But you cannot afford to do that. If you got $250,000, you can't afford to spend 50 of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, with the $250,000, even with him having to pay half of that and back child support or whatever the case may be, that $250,000, had he had the right situations or the right people around him, which evidently he doesn't or didn't, and I'm not going to blame him for that. You could have been good off of that $250,000 had the right decisions been made. But let's get back to talking regarding his children. Now, I think it's very unfortunate that he does not have custody or even relationships with his children, but we need context to that. Now, he was with Eva. We all know Eva was on America's Next Top Model. When she popped off, she did a whole lot of things. But this is Eva explaining what happened with Kev McCall and why he doesn't have a relationship basically with his daughter.
It was, I went through domestic violence. I finally found the courage to come up and talk about it about a couple years ago, about what I went through with Kevin. And he is definitely extremely violent, physically abusive. And I wasn't the only person that has dealt with it. More recently, there was a young lady he dealt with, knocked all her fronts out. His child's mother before me has dealt with domestic violence, his sister, his mother, and now obviously the list goes on. And there's this new young lady that unfortunately was dating him, and his inability to have what people call self-control of his, frustration and his anger, and he takes it out. And he's not a small guy. He played D1 football. So he's a nice sized guy, and obviously beat this girl up.
So that wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me. I'm married. Gary thought it's not funny. Like, are you?
There's no room for domestic violence. There's never, at any point, no matter the situation, a feasible space for you to put your hand on your significant other. She said that he knocked out another woman's fronts, her teeth out of her mouth. That's some serious shit, right? Eva goes on to, elaborate more on what she went through with Kev McCall.
Saying, I was just talking to Ricky and I was saying the sad thing about this is you got men sitting in jail right now for a nickel bag of weed. However, this man has hit and beat multiple women and still finds himself out free in the streets. So
what was that relationship like? Like you said that you could be sitting there just out of the blue.
Yeah, it was I can't believe I'm talking about it because it took me a lot of time to even get up the courage to be able to talk about it because it's embarrassing, coming from where I come from and being as astute and as courageous as I am. You always feel like it could never be me, Right. And so it's one of those things where I dated Kevin and I got pregnant. And we weren't really in love, to be completely honest. And it wasn't a relationship that lasted long enough for me to really even know him. And so it didn't start for me until I was pregnant with Marley. Wow. And I was pregnant with my child. So.
And that's when the abuse started.
Yep. And then about a month after having Marley, it didn't stop. It got worse. And it got worse with her. And the final straw was when Marley was actually in my arms once. And I was like, I can't do this no more.
Oh my God.
Let's pray that none of the women in our lives have to go through something like that. Those some serious allegations to have on your name. You know what I'm saying? Those are some very serious accusations to have on your name. And while he does have those accusations, he's never actually been convicted of those crimes. There was a situation in 2019 where it was him involved in a domestic situation with a cohabitant or a spouse. There's not really much information on that case, but, you can't be putting your hands on women. I mean, even for your baby moms to be saying something that she went through and she didn't put you through the system says a lot about your relationship. Y'all remember when Chris Brown when he was trolling Kev McCall? This was back in 2016 when they was going back and forth on the internet.
Good. And I thought about something. If this wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote, why he ain't write no more? Oh, wait. This is just one part of my house. This is life before K-Mac and life after K-Mac. Man, I'm gonna stop playing with this. Thank you, K-Mac. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money. I was thinking about giving you this, but I bought this with your money, too. I bought that with your money. That's the only one on the West Coast. Oh, I bought that one with your money, too. I took a shit, and then I bought this car. He's looking at you so disappointed, bro. You look whack as fuck. Hey, bro, I got you, my nigga. I got this Christmas change up. I got you this. Do your thing. Shout out to Ray J. We got you what's coming, K-Man. I just left rehearsal getting ready for this tour. And I just thought I should just keep being petty. So you know what I did? I went and bought a car. Not for K-Mac, but I bought one. Yeah, I just got mad. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just keep using your money, K-Mac. I'm going to keep using your money. Hey, you see that? Thank you, bro. I appreciate all this hard work you did.
In that situation, it led to a lot. You know what I'm saying? It led to a lot of crazy shit. Now, Kev, he has some things to say about Chris Brown, and this is why I think that at this point, the line had definitely been crossed. Y'all could talk about money, y'all could talk about whatever, but some of these tweets that he had to say, you know what I mean? Ain't no coming back from this. Kev got shot, you know what I mean? And when he got shot, there was people, talking on the internet, trolling, saying that Chris Brown had it done or something, and mixed that with his mental health, right? Now, he tweeted these things, and one thing about them tweets is that he wasn't a kid, he was a grown man, and they already had their issues. So he tweets, Chris Brown and his seed would be in a casket if he had anything to do with me being shot. Stop playing with rumors, or I can't promise CB will make it 29. That is crazy to be saying, you know what I mean, about somebody that you're trying to work some business out with. It says, I kept him alive 7 years now in LA. Don't take the humbleness you see in me as weakness. Chris wouldn't have a head on his tattoo. A head's a tattoo, excuse me. And it says on. He writes kind of broken. But there's other tweets, right? And in these other tweets, he says stuff like, I don't see what I said wrong. The Bible says eye for an eye. Chris didn't do it, so don't bring his name up in my life and death situation because playing with gossip, but LA ain't a game. I didn't threaten anyone. I told you how life would play out. I saved him hella times. Nah, brother. You said some crazy shit. Just even putting his name and his daughter or alluding to his daughter and something happening to his daughter because of something that you've gone through, you can't rectify that. You know what I'm saying? Then he says, I'm not putting the baby in it. I'm saying leave them out because the person who shot me tries to do a hit on him and his baby for 500. You don't know the type of evil I combat on a daily. You just into negativity energy, death culture, and tabloids. Black people wake up, puts a light bulb emoji. He also says, the only time I would mention, or the only time, he wrote they, but the only time I would mention Chris Brown and royalty in the same sentence is the $3 million in royalties he owes me for Look At Me Now / other songs he removed my name / credit on. Because I was uneducated and unprotected contractually. I don't promote evil, so self-reflect. Then he says, everybody should be cool. Don't get nobody hurt. We trying to stay alive for our kids. You can shame me, but do not spread rumors about innocent people who aren't involved because I'm getting calls by the minute who want blood and it's just evil. F that shit. You know what I mean? So y'all can interpret a lot how you like to in this said situation, but the way I look at it is this. Like, it's no way possible that you can have these types of conversations and say these types of things and think that anything could be rectified, even if you feel you was done dirty. But, you know, everything or a lot of what Kev is going through is from bad decision making. Iyala, you know what I mean? Iyala Fixed My Life, had him and his family on, and here's a couple of, you know, clips where, you know, he details or talks about what he went through in his life growing up.
Tell me what your father taught you about being a man.
You can't be soft, can't be a wimp.
Yeah. Did he see you for who you were, or did he see you for who he wanted you to be? Right there, stay right there. Just stay there, right there. And do your breath, you know your breath.
I felt like he never understood me.
Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't soft, I wasn't a wimp, I was just a good person. And I just want to prove to him that I wasn't weak.
Yeah. Every young man, every boy wants to look up to his dad. And sometimes it's easier to not see the truth than it is to see the truth. And I know he's a good man, and I know you love him, but your healing hinges on allowing that little 7-year-old boy to forgive his daddy.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Now, listen, a lot of times men will always be fast to talk about women's daddy issues, but we don't be talking about our own daddy issues. A lot of us that have dads, right? Because everybody doesn't grow up without a dad, but a lot of us that have dads, we do go through different situations with our dads, and because the lack of, you know, fatherhood in the household, because of the lack of relationships that we do have with our fathers, it does put us in a lot of positions where we are hurt. We mask that hurt by saying shit like, I don't care about my dad, I never knew him. But internally, that shit hurts. I grew up with a lot of people who didn't have their dads. I actually had my dad, but my dad wasn't in my life the way I wanted him to be. I didn't live with my dad. I never, you know, woke up and my dad was taking me to school every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Every time I wanted to see my dad, I couldn't. So, you know, seeing something like this, and again, we ain't shooting no bill for the shit that you've done in your life. You know what I mean? We're not, because there's still no excuses for your actions. But at the same time, this does paint somewhat of a picture of what the man is going through. And I have a question for y'all towards the end, but here's another clip when he's talking with his mother about the shit that they've gone through together and how he feels. And she elaborates on how she feels as well.
I have to come around her, so why you need a restraining order?
Because you frightened her.
Does that give her the right to try to manipulate the system?
No, that gives her a right to protect herself.
Yeah, but I'm not a threat.
She felt threatened. No. I want you to use your tools. I want you to take a breath. This is not an attack. This is a moment of truth. Your mother was afraid of you because of your inappropriate behavior.
I learned the behavior from her and my dad.
Now we having a conversation. Now we gonna have a conversation. Talk to your mother.
I learned when you get mad to go off and curse people out and throw things and do stuff like that if people are doing you wrong.
How'd you learn that?
I saw you do it to Dad. And I remember one time you threw a knife at him. And it went past my face and went in the door. And Gardena. You don't remember throwing the knife at Dad?
I remember throwing the knife at the door. If I wanted to hit your dad, I would have hit him. I purposely threw it at the door. And that was 20 years ago.
And he was a child, and he learned violence and inappropriate behavior from you and his father.
Horrible environment to grow up in where two people that you love are harming one another. You feel me? Are harming one another and throwing knives and all types of shit. See, this is the thing. Those patterns carry on into life. And how you raise your kid, what you don't understand is how you raise your kid in an environment that you put your kid in. Then when they go out and they're hurt and they don't know how to manage their hurt or their emotions or think critically, then they hurt people. Y'all all heard the term hurt people. But here's some more, you know what I mean, of the situation with his mom and him.
How does it make you feel to hear your son say you and his father taught him inappropriate expressions of anger? You don't have to justify or rationalize it. 20 years ago, he was 9. Do you understand how frightened and terrified he was?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that? And now, and he couldn't take out an order of protection against you. Mm-hmm. But now you as a grown woman, when he displays what you taught him, you go get an order of protection. Tell him how it makes you feel when you hear him say, you taught me that.
It makes me feel that you are focusing on me before my growth.
Yeah, amen.
Yes, I'm angry, but I know I get angry. I did something about it. I got a relationship with the Lord. I read books. I learned what triggers my anger, and I learned coping skills to help me to diffuse. So I don't go off like that. I've grown, but I do regret that you saw that. So, yeah.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
For the behavior I demonstrated.
For the behavior I demonstrated.
That taught you.
That taught you.
It was okay.
It was okay.
To express anger.
To express anger.
Inappropriately.
Inappropriately.
That's how you acknowledge. Mm-hmm. He can't unsee it. He can't unhear it.
Yeah.
Even though it was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very serious situation, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that his mom's is also letting it be known is that she's done the work on herself. Now, a lot of y'all know that I am Muslim, right? But I would like to quote the Bible. And it says, consider this, whoever sows sparingly, and this is from, reaping what you sow. Consider this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. So it started from somewhere. It started from his household and witnessing all of that hurt and him doing that, and he never got a chance to do the work on himself. And then he went out to the world and he hurt people. And I want to know, with all of this that's being said, from everything with the situation with Chris Brown and the money and this, that, and the third and all of that. And, everything he's going through with his exes, putting his hands on them. Eva actually changed her daughter's last name from McCall to, her marriage name, I believe. Is that bad business from the start, or is it karma? Because karma is a very, very funny thing. You know what I'm saying? Karma is a very, very funny thing, and how we move it around. But this is the part that's really, really taking off online with him talking about where he's at currently as far as his financial status.
Watch this. Why the fuck I got an EBT card? And this nigga Breezy Bro and made 90 whatever the fuck million, and it say KKKKK Mac. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is right
I'm not
now.
even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck, bro? I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all niggas want to see a nigga cry in here, so y'all can think I'm a
bro.
Fuck, that shit ain't fair, nigga.
Hey,
I'm on EBT, bro.
Hey,
That's why.
Bro.
Hey, look, bro.
Calm down, bro.
Say my name, bro. That shit is better. I had to go up in that motherfucker and hide my face with a mask like COVID, bro.
Don't act like every nigga ain't had no motherfucking EBT
card.
On the set, that nigga had an EBT card.
Man, I might get an EBT book. I walk in the building, y'all look at me crazy.
Let me tell you this.
Yo, I love the balance of what they did in there because they're like, man, niggas ain't trying to hear that. I want to say this to Kevin McCall, right? I want to say this to Kevin McCall if this ever reaches him, if he ever sees this. Bro, nobody's coming to save you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's coming to save you. You reap what the fuck you sow. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, you might have wrote some songs. I mean, you might have wrote some songs, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of disrespect in between there. The misrepresentation, that's messed up too. Keep in mind, unfortunately, in music business, it's nobody's business to teach you business. And a lot of times your loyalty might put you in a bad spot, but you've had chances and you had opportunity. Now, what I've seen from your story is that you've never taken the time to do the work on yourself. It's been over for a long time. Like you said, Deuces was 2011. It's 2025, my nigga. You should have been went and got a job. Knowing that you got bills, knowing that you got, shit going on that you got to pay for, you got kids that's responsible for you. See, the ego of man is not going to allow him to say, even though I wrote shit for Chris Brown or I might have did this, I might got to go get a job. A lot of y'all rappers stay stuck in the same year that y'all had the most success. And that's the reason why y'all got bills up y'all ass and y'all haven't progressed in life, because y'all are waiting for something else to happen. It's over, my nigga. It's over. Let's just keep it 100. The first thing he need to do is work on himself personally. Personally, because your resume says that you're a dangerous person. Your resume says that you are a non-trustworthy or a person that people fear. Your resume says that you're a domestic abuser. Your resume says that you're a person that can't handle yourself or your emotions, and being in the circumference of your children is dangerous and not healthy for your children. That's what your resume says, my nigga. You lucky you got EBT. Like Eva said, there's people in jail for nothing, for weed. So we can't sit here and feel sorry for a grown-ass man that got 2 working limbs, 2 working arms and 2 working legs, that's complaining about not having nothing and that he is on EBT. What you got to do is, first and foremost, work on yourself. Apologize for the things that you may have done to people. You seems like you was being sincere on the Inyala show, but that never really took off. You never kept going with it. Y'all let me know, though. How do y'all feel? Do y'all think it's bad business or if it's karma? I think it's a bit of both. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.